said, do you regret anything about getting divorced, being married? Yeah, I wish my wife would have never pushed me to put my hands on her. Oh, we gotta go. My name is Angela Pozniak. I am more of a girl that is outgoing and fun. And if I feel like a date is not a match, I'm not gonna say I'm out of there. If I could describe like my dating history, so I went through something really terrible with my very first dating experience after high school. And ever since then, I'm like, I give people a chance, but at the moment they show me a red flag, that's it. I'm done. It doesn't take much for me to be like, okay, I'm out of here. That's kind of where that stems from, is going through one traumatic situation and then being like, I can see this from a mile away. I've never used dating apps. However, I used to live in California near a military base. And a lot of times if I was out and about, I would see military guys. Typically, I was young, so I was out and about walking, shopping, malls, clubs, out to dinner with my friends. That's typically how I met guys back then. So before I go on a date, I typically don't have a list of red flags already panned out. That's not how it works. If I've already met this person and we've had a conversation, I can kind of see behind their eyes, like they've been through some stuff, and I kind of want to hear their story. I always look for how they show up on a date, where we go, if they're going to take charge and say, we're going here, be ready at this time, because that matters to me. And so if the bar just keeps dropping every time until they show up, and then the conversation's bad on top of everything else that has transpired, yeah, that's what makes it easy for me to be like, okay, this isn't gonna work out. I went out with a guy I met out in LA area, and I didn't realize that these guys are a little different to date. I'm from Texas, from the South. I expect guys to be gentlemen and all these things, and this guy was really smooth, and he came from money, and I was like, okay, this is different. Let me just, try to go on a date with this guy. Very nice, very handsome, well put together. He picks out everything. I love everything about this guy. Very in control. And we're eating, I think we got appetizers or maybe a drink or two. I drink water because I don't like to drink when I'm going on dates with guys. And so I'm enjoying myself, and we're laughing, and all of a sudden he brings up, would you ever be interested in wearing African attire? I'm like, oh yeah, I wear it often I wear it in school, I wear it now if I'm going to an African wedding, whatever. And he goes, no, I mean, like, I have some, garments at my home. And if we were to go back to my place, insinuating that we were going to have tonight, and you wear these as a, what word did he use? Basically foreplay. He said, I've been to Africa so many times. I was like, oh my God, should I be scared for my life right now? I was shook. My face never hides what I'm feeling. And I'm just sitting there looking at this guy like, this guy has a fetish. Like, how do I get out of here as fast as I can? And so I'm like, you know what? That sounds so fun. I'd be totally down. And I just get up, grab my purse. I'm going to go check on something really quick. I'll be right back. I go to the hostess. I'm like, girl, I got to get out of here. And girls, we just get it sometimes. It's girl code. She was like, oh, he's handsome, right? No, it's bad. She's like, okay, let me get your check. And she sensed the urgency. And I got out of there and I never looked back. He was texting, calling. I had to block him. It was, My second date consisted of this guy that was really down to earth. And when I initially met him, we had a great conversation. We were also from Texas and around the same area. So I was like, oh my gosh, same kind of values. It'd be great. He picked a place. So we get there, and I get there early, and I'm like maybe always like 15, 20 minutes late, but I always tell them that I don't just show up late. And so this time I was early, and I was like, oh, I'm early. I get to see how this guy comes in, what, kind of car he drives, like how he presents himself, and how people look at him when he walks through a restaurant, right? And so I see his face. I don't distinctly remember him having like a grill or any gold teeth in his mouth, but I can see from afar like his teeth are shining. I was like, did he put in a grill for this date? And then I see the top half of him kind of walking, and then I see that he's coming towards me, and his pants are sagging so bad. Like I can see from the top to almost the bottom of this guy's underwear. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just kind of like, how to do like a soothing little rock. I started doing that a little bit to try to like give myself some stability. So I come and I was like, hello, sit down. And I just say, I was like, hey, this is a nice restaurant, and your underwear kind of showing. Like, try not to be pushy about it, but just like, hey, you should probably pull your pants up. He's like, oh no, that's how I wear it. It's the street style. Like, we're not in a street restaurant. Like, you cannot do that. And instantly I thought, this guy, I think he was maybe 7 years older than me at the time. And I thought to myself, I cannot raise a man who is already older than me and already knows how he wants to dress. It just didn't go well. So, I said, this was nice. I'm going to go meet up with some of my girlfriends later. And I just wanted to come out with you really quick. And he was just like, where are you going? I was like, I promised to be here at this time. I'm sorry. I got my wires crossed. Just trying to play it off. But I left that date as well because it wasn't going to work out. Sometimes to be safe, you got to lie sometimes. Like, oh, I'm going to go. It was so bad. Sir, pull your pants up. Come on. We're grown. And then the grill, I was like, he didn't have a grill when I met him. I was like, this guy went and put a fake grill in his mouth for me. I didn't ask for that. I didn't. If I wanted to go to a music video, I would have signed up to be an extra. I don't know. I told him, I said, hey, I have some girlfriends I need to meet up with. He kind of understood, but gave me the side eye like, okay, whatever. And I drove home and kicked off my shoes and got into my pajamas and sat on the couch and just watched reruns of like Martin or something because I didn't have time. My battery was drained. He eventually reached out, but I just didn't have the time. Blocked. Another date I went on, this guy was in the military. I met him in San Diego, close to a military base. He had these piercing blue eyes and blonde hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so handsome. He was militant and very in control. And he set up our date, and he said, I've seen you around, and I've just wanted to get to know you. And I heard that a lot, because I was out and about a lot. Like, I had friends everywhere. I was like, here we go again. And we go on this date, and we show up, it's fine. We have great conversation. And he starts to get a little... I don't know if he was nervous or what, but again, I'm drinking water on my date. He starts ordering after like, I didn't know are we partying? What's going on? And I said, are you okay? Kind of asked him, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm just getting the nerves out. I'm like, okay, well, tell me more about you. Like, where are you from? And how did you get in the military? Like, how long have you been in? And he's like, you know what? Holding his drink, linked to me. You know what? You're like my burnt piece of bacon. And I was like, do I look like a piece of bacon? I love bacon, but do I look like a burnt piece of bacon? I was contemplating my comeback, but I was like, you know what? He's in a really low place right now, and I can understand people sometimes, so I'm not going to kick him while he's down, because something's going on with this man. I don't know what it is. As he goes on, I'm listening to his stories. I asked him, I said, hey, have you ever been married before? You have any kids? And he goes, yeah, I'm divorced. And I said, do you regret anything about getting divorced, being married? Yeah, I wish my wife would have never pushed me to put my hands on her. Oh, we gotta go. I'm gonna run to the little girl's room. I'll be back. You stay here and enjoy yourself. Yeah, nope, just got a water. When I tell you I ran out of there as fast as I could, it was so bad. I instantly called my mom in the car like, Mom, you will not believe what just happened to me. And I talked to my mom the rest of the way home. This guy I met, I think we were in Gaslamp, which is like downtown San Diego. And I was walking out with my friends one night. We exchanged numbers is how we met. We set up a date. We meet in person. He was very we text, we call. He's very relatable and just had a lot of things going for himself. I think he was I think it's his first year being an athlete. It was great. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to work out so well. Like, I'm going to meet somebody who's great and that's athletic. We get to the date. We're having a great conversation. I show up, I have this off the shoulder thing, but it's like a bodycon. It's fitted, but it's all the way down like to my ankles, and I have like strappy heels. And I sit down and it's great. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, all of a sudden something was triggered in him. I felt like he was trying to tear me down piece by piece. Like, we got on preferences in some way. I said, well, I don't really have a lot of preferences. I just want a guy to be nice and a guy to take control and just be himself, authentic. And he goes, well, I like my women not to wear too much makeup. And when I tell you, I had on almost like what my face looks like today, but obviously the makeup style was a little different, but kind of like this. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, well, I have on makeup right now. Like, oh, I don't like women who wear weave. I had a sew-in, clip, something close to clip-ins, and it was very curled down. I'm like, does he not know that this is a weave? Like, what is he talking about? And I have a sleeve. I have a tattoo right here. I don't like girls that have, a lot of tattoos or big tattoos. Sir, what's going on? Because it seemed like we were vibing and having a great time, and all of a sudden it's just like everything that I was, he was not a fan of. Oh yeah, I usually like my girls to be a little more lighter skin. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Again, I was like, how are these guys doing this? Like, if you didn't want to go on a date, you should have said that. So I said, you know what? This is so nice. I'm going to go. I'm leaving. And from there, I left and kind of was questioning my my choices. Like, why do I keep giving these guys a chance? So another date I went on. This guy was very sweet. He's very quiet. And I kept thinking to myself on the way to the date, hey, what are we going to talk about? Because he's so quiet. And I'm very talkative. We get there and I'm looking around and I said, that's my date over there. There's a woman with him. What do I do? Like, in my mind, I'm like, my wheels are turning. Like, what do I do? So I just walk up and I say, hey. He's like, oh yeah, hey. And I said, well, who's this? He goes, yeah, this is my mom. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to hide and curl up in the ball and just roll out of there. She tells me her name and I said, oh, okay, I'm Angela. And I said, is your mom, is she staying? Is she joining us? Yeah, sit down. I was like, okay, so scoot in the booth. I should have left then, but I wanted to see where this was going to go. I had so many questions. So I sat down and I said, so what are you guys doing something after this? Like, what's going on? And he didn't even answer. She started talking to me. Oh yeah, he lives with me, and we're going to see a movie after this. And I was like, oh, you guys are on a date. Okay, so I'm interrupting. And so I just started going on a date with her. I ordered a little food on the little appetizer, and I was like, let me just get to know her because I don't know what he got going on. And he was just quiet the whole time. Said not a word, not sorry. Didn't even walk me outside when I left. I just told his mom, it was so nice to meet you. You were an angel. Ate a little bit, and I left and went back home. But I just knew what it was. I think that for that situation, for the mom to be on the date, I thought it was an unhealthy connection with mom and son. No boundaries. You could see early on, even if things did get serious, there will be no room for me. There was only room for mom. I've learned from my dating history that if people show you up front who they are, even before you get to the date, like, just don't waste your time. Don't go. And I know there are other opinions out there that may say, well, you never know. It could be just the first impression. Sure, but first impressions are everything. If you know you're going on a date with someone and you see what they are in general, if you know somebody is, say they're creative and they're artistic, don't show up and say, oh yeah, I'm not really into the arts, or I'm not really creative. I'm not into that. Like, well, I told you I was into this when we met, and now all of a sudden you're not. Don't play with people's time or their heart. I am married now. Okay. I've been married for, I want to say 11 years in December. Marriage was not something that I thought I would ever get to until the right man came along and said, I don't want to hear what you're talking about. I'm marrying you, girl. Just having a person come into your life and really lead you and show you what marriage should be. Game changer. I have 3 beautiful kids. They're all 5 years apart. Perfect little ages. For anyone looking to find their partner or be married, I would say do work on yourself first and have people meet you where you're at. You don't want to have to build someone up and get them to where you are, because then they still have work to do. You need to ensure that the person you're also going to have a lifelong relationship loves themselves as well, and they know how they want to be loved. That way you guys can consistently show love in the right way, and it actually matters.